Greetings everyone, I just want to welcome you here tonight. I always like to start off tonight with a little bit of an introduction in case you've never seen my face before. I'm Andy Malash, I'm the principal of Berkeley High School. This is my 15th year at BHS. Seems hard to imagine I've been here that long. I taught math for 8 years, that's when I started. I was the assistant principal for 4 years after that, and then this is my 3rd year as principal. At the bottom of this page, you'll see some of my contact information. At the other side of the bottom of the page, you'll see the annual first day of school picture that my wife always makes me take with my kids. I always begrudgingly put up a stink about it, and then in the end, we always end up with a nice picture from the first day of school. So hopefully throughout tonight, you'll get to learn a little bit about BHS, a little bit about me, and what we value here at BHS. I also like to take a moment each curriculum night to talk about administration and counseling. These are some of the hardest working folks I know. These are some of the kindest, finest people I've ever known in my life. We're here for your kids. We're here to support your kids and you in whatever way is possible. So my assistant principal, Miss Womble, she's in charge of students with last names A through K. Miss Krieger is the assistant principal in charge of students with last names L through Z. So if ever there's something in your kid's class, something your child's struggling with, the first point of contact is always going to be the teacher in that classroom and see if, questions can get answered and situations can get resolved. If for whatever reason you're still needing a little bit more support, your next line of communication is going to be one of your assistant principals, and then I would be after that point. So if ever you email me and say, hey, I've CC'd Miss Womble or Miss Krieger on this email, they're going to help you out. It's not that I don't want to talk to you. We just have some kind of protocols and procedures that we go through with any type of communication. Also, we've got an incredible counseling department. Miss Dixon's in charge of students with last names A through D. Miss Weiss oversees students E through K. Miss Belsky is students with last names L through R. Miss Ty is last names S through Z, and Miss Faye oversees all of our alternative education students. Like I said, these are some of the finest people I've ever worked with, I've ever known. They are great people. If you ever need help, you need support, or you just have a question, we're here to help you out. Being that this year is a little bit different, I've tweaked this slide a little bit from past years, and I was thinking about, what might success look like in a virtual environment? Because I think one of the things I usually talk about on curriculum night is success looks very different for a lot of people. For some students, they work harder than they've ever worked in their entire lives and got a C in Algebra 1, and that should be celebrated. I think it's just different for all of us, is different for all students. So in a virtual environment, I think being present and engaged is a great measure of success. If students are continually logging in every day, their cameras are on, they're engaged with their classmates, they're engaged with their teacher, I think that is a great measure of success. I think persevering through setbacks, because we're going to have some. We've had students with Schoology issues, we've had students with Zoom issues, students that had trouble submitting assignments, and what I continue to see through students was them persevering and getting help and getting support, and they got it figured out. And I think by week 3 now, we're really starting to figure out these things, and I'm proud of those students for persevering. Also, we're gonna make mistakes, and that's okay. You'll hear me talk about mistakes all the time. I make mistakes, they make mistakes, we all make mistakes. Now, how we learn from those mistakes is equally as important as the mistakes we make. So just make sure you're noticing when students are improving upon something that they maybe didn't get right the first time. Also, taking chances. I know it's a little bit different in this online environment, but I really want students to take chances and put themselves out there and, engage in these discussions, post on these message boards. I think there's really an opportunity for them to shine in this environment, and I hope they're taking those chances to do that. Also, helping peers and classmates. Like I mentioned earlier, a lot of people are struggling a little bit with whatever it is. Maybe it's curricular, maybe it's technical. Help people out, help your friends out, help other people in your classmate out. If you know how to do something, share it. We had a student just last week who created a video of how to submit an assignment, and she sent it to me, and we gave it to teachers to share with kids. And I'm so proud of her. Like that, she didn't have to do that, but she did that. She shared her knowledge with others. She helped other people out. I think also being forgiving of other people's mistakes. We're all going to make mistakes here, myself included, students, teachers. We're going to make mistakes along the way. Let's just be forgiving of each other. I think it's not easy, the environment we're in, and we're all learning. And so the degree to which we can be forgiving of others, I see that as success. And then lastly, being a leader. I think, you know, it's easy in a virtual environment to sit back and let other people talk and let other people raise their hands and let other people contribute. But really, I'm hoping students are pushing themselves to be that leader in the class, to be that first one to respond, to be that one with the camera on, maybe when everyone else's camera isn't on, and just showing what it looks like to be a leader in the class. I think these are all great measures of success in a virtual environment, and maybe not exactly like those typical measures of success we always think about. Another slide I typically have is how can I help my kid? And so I tweaked that again this year for how can I help my virtual learner? And this first bullet point is not that different. It's allow them to make mistakes. It's never easy to see your kids struggle. It's never easy to see your kids make mistakes. However, if we can let kids make some of these small mistakes now, I think that prepares them that they don't make those bigger mistakes later on. Try also not to express any frustration in front of your kids. I'm going through this myself. I've got a second grader and a TK, and I'll be honest with you, there's some nights my wife and I look at everything and we want to pull our hair out. Well, not me so much, but it is frustrating, but we never do that in front of the kids. And we always make sure that school is this positive thing. Let's get excited for school. We're learning. We're becoming better at what we do. Try to teach independence. If your student is struggling with something in a class, have them write an email to the teacher, have them reach out through Schoology to the teacher rather than you doing it for them. I think what we're trying to build a lot with students is just this independent mindset. And if they're going on to higher education or a college setting, it's very likely that they're going to take a virtual class or an online class at some point. So I think the skills we're building now, the soft skills with it, is going to be very important down the road. Also, offer support. Each of you as a parent has a certain skill set that I think can be very valuable to your kids. Maybe you're really good at math. Hey, sit down and work with them on geometry or algebra 2 and help tutor them. Maybe you are a great organizer in your workplace, and that's a skill you can transfer to your kids and help them get organized at home. Maybe you are a whiz at technology and having a Google Calendar that has appointments and due dates. Maybe that's something you can share with your kids. So try to look for those opportunities where you can share that expertise with your kids. I'd also say still ask about their day and how school went every single day. I know, a lot of us when kids get home or at dinner, we say, how was school today? And while we might be seeing how school's going with them, I think it's still important to talk about that, have them tell you something they learned. It may be begrudgingly at some point, but it's important that they're still talking about what was exciting about school, what was hard about school. Those are important family discussions to have. Frequently monitor and check on their well-being. So I don't know about you, but I'm noticing different things in my kids since last March. They're way more huggy, they're way more needing me and my wife in different ways than they used to. And so I think we've had to adapt our parenting for that. And we've had to give more hugs. We've had to spend more time with just them. So those things all contribute to their well-being. And I know you're keeping an eye on your kids, and I appreciate that. And we really appreciate that at high school. Also, make sure you're taking care of yourself. If we're not taking care of ourselves, I think it's hard for us to take care of someone else. So one thing I really try to portray in my communications are the ways I'm trying to take care of myself, the ways I want my staff to take care of themselves, the way I want students to take care of themselves. So as a parent, make sure you're taking care of yourself too. Make sure you're not getting too frustrated. Make sure you're taking pauses. Your mental health, your well-being, those matter a great deal to me too. And so just make sure you're hitting that pause button and every now and then taking a little bit of a break. The way Curriculum Night's going to work this year is I had each teacher post a video to each of their Schoology classrooms. So what you're going to do is you're going to log into Schoology as a parent. You're going to go to each class individually. you're going to click on a folder in each class called Curriculum Night. That should be the same in all the classes. And then once you get in there should be a video posted by the teacher just telling you a little bit about the class, telling you about what the kids are going to learn, what their experiences may look like. And it's really a nice way, I think, to just put a face to the name and really get to see how great the teachers at Berkeley High School are. I know this to be true. You're going to know this to be true pretty soon, but we have one of the greatest staffs I've ever worked with. We're going to take very good care of your children. They're going to have a great year. I guarantee you they're going to have a great year. BHS is a great place. We're happy to have your kids here. Once again, I want to thank you for tuning in, whether it's tonight or the next morning, whenever it is. I appreciate your dedication to your kids. I appreciate that you're showing up, you're being a part of this, that you're helping us. I can't tell you how much we all appreciate your flexibility and patience. This is new to us as well, but I've been hearing a lot of great feedback from teachers, how excited they are, from kids, how well things are going, and from parents too, saying this is just going a lot better than I thought it would, which in turn has made me a lot less stressed than normal. So again, my greatest thanks to all of you. I appreciate you. Go Bears.